Happy birthday! Today is May 29th, 2017. This is kind of a new series I'm kind of working out. Don't know if it'll last. This or that movie series review. Movie review series. This or that movie review series. Kind of a working title. It is a movie review series, so we'll see how that works out. The movie Kingsman, Secret Service, directed by Matthew Vaughn, stars Taron Egerton, don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Samuel L. Jackson, and Colin Firth. It's a pretty fun, high-action movie with very, very strong English tones in it. Like, you just kind of feel British a little bit after watching this movie. And after I watched it, I enjoyed it a little bit, but I definitely found some issues. One of the things I found amazing about it was the choreography. The fight scenes in this movie are fantastic. They're really high-paced, and they're able to make actors who you wouldn't expect to be action stars like Colin Firth look like total badasses, which was really great, and it has that going for it. I'm still on the fence about Matthew Vaughn as a director. He's also responsible for the Kick-Ass movies, and I wasn't a big fan of those. But I think he really found a niche with the movie Kingsman. That being said, one of the major issues I found with this movie is its tone. It seems to be a rated R movie with a PG-13 backdrop, and I really wasn't a fan of that. They have these really comedic, funny moments when it should feel like it's very serious. Granted, a lot of moments in this movie are meant to be comedic, such as Samuel L. Jackson's character. Even though he's the villain of the movie, he's very comedic. He has a lisp. He absolutely hates violence, which is funny for a villain. But then you have characters like his assistant or his number two. She's missing her legs and has blades in their place. I mean, I guess it's an original idea to say the least. But her character was supposed to be much more serious, but it was really hard to see her that way, especially towards the end of the movie, where there's a genocide scene, and they're playing disco to the background of it, and she's all very giddy about the idea of genocide, and it just doesn't really work in the movie. And when you play disco music over a genocide scene, it kind of takes away from the seriousness of it. There's even a scene, not to spoil too much about it, there's a scene towards the end where a whole bunch of people's heads are exploding. It's a mass head explosion scene. And it's very, very bright and colorful, and they're playing this like classical music to the background of it, and it just sort of makes the whole thing very cartoony. So this movie definitely suffers from tonal shifts, in my opinion. I know a lot of people really love this movie, but it really felt like a rated R movie with a PG-13 filter on it. And I didn't personally enjoy it too much. I found like... That being said, the movie that I would recommend you watch instead is Hardcore Henry. Hardcore Henry is directed by Ilya Naishuller. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. And it stars Charlton Copley and Haley Bennett. Now, what Hardcore Henry does that Kingsman kind of fails to do is it nails that tonal blend between high intense action and gore and comedy. Also, like Kingsman, it has a very, very strong British feel to it, and that comes in the form of its soundtrack and in Charlton Copley's acting. Not to spoil too much, but Charlton Copley plays a wide variety of different British, I suppose you'd say, stereotypes, including a 1980s punk rocker, a 1960s British hippie, and like even an old school British officer. And so you get this very strong English vibe from the movie in his acting alone, despite the fact that I think the movie takes place in Russia, or definitely like in Eastern European country. But it is definitely a very intense movie. It's very high octane and very quick paced, and has a lot of comedy in it. I was laughing a lot in this movie. It was really interesting to feel for a main character, despite the fact that you never see their face and they have zero lines. That was really interesting, and I'm really glad that Ilya, that the director was able to do that about a main character. It's very unique. And so that's my recommendation to you. If you're feeling like watching Kingsman, or if it's on the TV, but you also have the option of watching Hardcore Henry, I would recommend Hardcore Henry over Kingsman. Or, I mean, it's 2017, you could like DVR both of them, you know, waste 4 hours of your time instead of 2. Anyway, if you like this idea, this over that movie reviews, please subscribe and hit that little bell near the bottom of the subscribe button so that way you stay updated with all of our videos. Thanks for watching, guys!